was evident that my dad's neurological disease was steadily getting worse, so he had to quit working and go on disability. We were poor, but we had a good life, my sisters and I. I went to Canyon High School, which is just off the 91 freeway at Imperial, but I have to tell you, I was somewhat taken aback shortly after I graduated from high school when I discovered that I was pregnant. That changed everything for me. I knew that I would need a well-paying job in order to support my child and me. She's right over there with the camera. So I enrolled for courses at Santa Ana Community College and began working on an AA in business administration. Afterwards, I enrolled at Cal State Fullerton. I lived at home with my parents, who certainly were not in a position to help me financially. Although I applied, I could not qualify for any financial aid since my parents owned a house. But despite all the challenges, back in the early 80s, college was possible, and it was accessible for someone like me, a single mom on welfare. But can I even say the same thing now? No. Today, thousands of students are being turned away from community colleges, or they can't get the classes they need. Even worse, many four-year colleges are not accepting community college students, and that really sucks. My friends, this is not the California that I grew up with. This is not the California that my daughter grew up with. And this is certainly not the California that I want my two grandsons to grow up with. I ask you, moms and dads. I ask you, moms and dads, is this the California that you want for your children? No. Grandparents, is this the California that you want for your precious grandkids? No. Classifieds, is this the California that you want for the students that you work with? No. Teachers, is this the California you envision for your students? No. Businessmen and women, community leaders, is this the California that you want to serve? No. As the famous quote says, all that is necessary for evil to prevail is that good men and women do nothing. If we do nothing, the future for all of us looks grim. But there is power in people. We have seen it. We have seen it right here in this valley. I have seen our community band together many times over the years when our school board had to make unfavorable decisions that negatively affected our children and our jobs. The people in this community pulled together. Our voices were heard by the policymakers, and favorable solutions were forged. So please join our cause. Let us not rob our children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews of a better education, better opportunities, and a better life. Write a letter. Better yet, let's call our legislators right now. You all have a yellow and pink paper. Get your cell phones. Let's call them right now. Let's tell our legislators to reject the governor's proposed budgets to cut $3 billion more out of education. Let's tell them to make it a priority to fund education in California again. We want our all